Welcome to Lions Live 365. I'm your host, Michael Ayers, and today we are talking about my favorite position. We are talking about the running back room today. We have done a bunch of roster breakdowns. We've done linebacker. We've done secondary. We've done D line and O line. And today we talking about running backs. This right here is where I fell in love with football. Right here, running backs. Buried the home of Barry Sanders, baby. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's get right into it. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, 24 years old next season. He has elite speed. I mean, this man is clocking 22 miles per hour. You understand me? Okay? This man is moving. All right? Physical for his size. He is not a punk in any way, shape, or form. All right. So when he hits that hole, he's gonna hit it with authority. Now he might get smacked in that hole, but he's gonna hit that hole with authority. And when it comes to route running, this man has grown and grown and grown. Okay. So when it comes to running running that route out of the backfield, that Texas route is killing. That Jahmyr Gibbs that Jahmyr Gibbs Texas route is killing people. All right, the screen game, this you could flex him out like a slot receiver. He's like that. All right, when you like that, you can do what you want on the field. This man had almost 1,900 yards total last year. At the end of the day, he had some dud games, and we're going to talk about that later. But this man here, who I give an A, as far as talent level, and to be honest, he has A plus potential. This man has unlimited potential. He has the most potential on this entire team, as far as I am concerned. Okay, the thing that's crazy about him is that he is so raw as a running back. He's raw in a lot of different ways, and he's gotten away with it because one, he's sharing the backfield, and two, you know, when you're that talented, sometimes the nuance, you don't need it. You know, you might not need all this extra shake ability if you can run dead past the guy. And he's gotten away with some things. But as far as I'm concerned, this man can be the mix of Marshall Falk and Chris Johnson. And when you mix them two together, you talking about the greatest of all time. That sound like greatest of all time. The only thing is he has to want it. Like right now, where I have him, I know this is gonna be controversial. I already know this is gonna be controversial, but we gonna talk about it, right? I have him tied for fourth or fifth, however you want to look at it, as far as running backs, right? Because he lacks the nuances of the position, right? I have him behind Bijan, Saquon, and Christian McCaffrey, and I have him tied with James Cook. He's clearly top five. Thing is, there's probably like two more running backs that you can mention where it'd be like, okay, because if somebody said, hey, I think Derrick Henry is better, what you gonna say? That man has a bunch of seasons that he can lean on. If he didn't have fumbleitis, I would have him on his list. But that's just the reality, right? So that's how I feel about Jahmyr Gibbs. All the positives. Let's talk about some of the negatives. What's stopping him from reaching that all-time level, right? Because he's not just good. Like if I'm saying, hey, you got more potential to be better and you're missing a bunch of the nuances of the position and you're top five, that means you're super talented. But let's talk about what he got to learn. He has to get significantly better in pass protection. It almost makes you a liability out there if you can't protect your quarterback. If you can't buy him a half a second, you don't even have the type of quarterback that likes to hold the ball in the first place. If you can at least give him like a millisecond, like Jahmyr Gibbs out here getting run over, and anybody that wants to be like, oh Mike, you tripping? No, he be getting killed in pass pro, and we have seen running backs his size stonewall dudes, and he's not doing it. He has to clean up his tech and pass pro, so that way we're more comfortable with him on the field on third down. We're not looking for another back to do his job. Like, to be honest, man, if he can't do this, like, it's one of those things that's going to be a ding against him. His ball security has to be better. In big games, he like to fumble. And I feel like he hits the hole with such authority. He hits the hole with authority consistently, right? And he don't have the size to be hitting the hole with the authority he be hitting. So at the end of the day, he hits the gap. If somebody's in that hole, he has a no nonsense style of running. And what happens is he gets smacked. And then that ball be just wherever the ball be at. Like, we can't be in that situation consistently. But Jahmyr Gibbs, for a running back that has been drafted high, probably went to one of the best situations that a running back can be drafted high to. He hasn't experienced. This is his first year experiencing a bad offensive line in his whole career. It's like, hey, he's used to like these clear and obvious hole, hit the hole with all my with as much speed as possible, and then I'm going 10, 12, 15, 20, 50, 60, 70, 80 yards, right? That is not always going to be the case. And what needs to happen is, one, he needs to develop a little bit more patience. He has to develop his vision as a running back. And it, like, that really showed this year that he didn't have the patience, that he needed a little bit more refinement with the vision and setting up his blocks. And he has to get better at shaking, making a move and making people miss in the hole, or just setting up his block so that linebackers don't know which gap he's going to use when we run duo. It's one of those things. Like, he has to be better. Right now, his problem isn't, hey, I don't have the talent. He has the talent. He has the speed. He has the athleticism. He has all of that. But the reality is, he needs to be able to make that 4-yard run. Because for every, 70-yard run that he runs, that 4-yard run could be just as important. That 4 yards on third down could be very important. That being able to convert the second and 3 so that you don't even have to worry about third down is very important. And that's what the people that I put ahead of him are really good at, is just making something out of nothing. Like, you don't see Jahmyr Gibbs do like these big jump cuts and create holes like that. Like, he has a very simple style of running. And to be honest, if you're faster than everybody, maybe you don't need to shake and juke. But if there's nothing there and you don't have the weight and like the size to just basically run people over, you need to develop some shake. You need to develop some juke. You need some Barry in your game. I don't know. Ask him some questions. I'm sure he'd be happy to help you. Right? But it's one of those things, like, he has to do a little bit better with that. Now, we gonna talk about, we went super in depth with Sonic. We went super in depth with him. Let's talk about David Montgomery, right? David Montgomery is the perfect complement to Gibbs. He literally does everything well that Gibbs struggles at. He's very patient. Setting up his blocks. He has a pretty good jump cut, like a little cut here. He has a very weird style of running. So with that being said, like, it's like, you don't know which way he going. And then essentially, if he sees a DB or a safety in the hole, he is going to destroy him. Like, it's one of those things, like, he just takes it so personal. I felt like it was a couple times where David Montgomery literally just, like, hit a dude as hard as he could just because he was mad he wasn't getting any carries. And it's like one of those things, like, for people that always push back, because I talk to Lions fans online all the time. What happens is people will push back, like, oh, it ain't that deep, this, that, and the third. Oh, there's a reason why people have been asking for David Montgomery. It's the patience. It's the ability to make a 4-yard run that would have been a 0-yard run if you just kept things simple and you weren't patient and you didn't follow your blocks and you can't punt and you can't fall forward. Those are the things that David Montgomery supplied for us that we just didn't take advantage of. There were too many 3rd-and-1s that we didn't have David Montgomery on the field. Even if, like, hey, every time David Montgomery is on the field, we basically signaling that we're running the ball. We can run play action off of that. Like, I don't understand why it was so difficult for them to get him involved. To be honest, the biggest problem that he had was the coaches held him back. And if Drew Petzing and Mike Kafka can handle their business and get my man in the situations that work, Sonic and Knuckles being back could basically, propel us to some dangerous situations, get us in some places we want to be, start holding trophies and stuff. But at the end of the day, he has to be involved. And if he can't get him involved, you have to trade him. It's not even like, oh, we should, if you got an unhappy running back that's making $10 million in the NFL, you gotta get him out of there. Like, bro, I don't care how much money you save, get him out of here. 5th, 6th, 4th, 7th, I don't care. It's not even about the compensation you get back. It's about the fact that this man is unhappy. You're not going to use him, and he's going to be a story every game that Gibbs struggles. Because Gibbs has had some 30-yard games because he's not. If the hole isn't there, I'll get 0. He's not good at like gap creation. His running style is more simple. He's not a big dude, so like he's not guaranteed to fall forward, get you at least 3. Like, no, that's not his game. So if we're not going to do that, we need to get somebody that can. And whether that be a rookie back or something like that, but I really want I want Knuckles here. Sonic and Knuckles just works perfectly. And that's just how I feel on the room for the most part. But let's talk about the other guys. We got some special teamers. I'm gonna talk about them just because. Sione Vaki. He's a special teamer. He literally was a running back / safety, so I knew when he got drafted what they wanted him for. The only thing I don't understand is that like special teams probably play like 14, 15 plays in the game, if I'm not mistaken. How you getting hurt playing 15 plays a game? Like, I don't get that. That don't make no sense at all. Like, how are you getting hurt? What are you hurting? Like, bro, don't get me started. He hasn't really taken any significant carries. Last time I remember seeing him, he was singing. He can sing. That's about the most important thing that you can learn about that. You know what I'm saying? Is, hey, we got a singer. To be honest, man, whether we bring him back or not, after his contract, I do not care. Hopefully he can bounce back, prove me wrong, all that good jazz. But I can't even take the time to grade him. Let's talk about Jacob Saylors, former UFL running back, solid returner, durable dude. He's actually catching the kick returns and getting positive yards, getting positive results. For me, I like Tom Kennedy and Jacob Saylors as special teamers, and if Khalif prices himself out, I'm actually very comfortable with them being the guys. I would love in some blowouts for Jacob Saylors and Vaki to get some carries. We need to start finding ways to get guys off of the field and kind of preserve our starters. Like, it doesn't make sense that we always trying to run it up. Like, there's no reason to you don't get no extra points scoring 50. Like, we don't have a committee at the end like, oh, these blowouts really matter. Like, and that's just how I feel. I understand that there's going to be pushback, might be a little controversial to some, but I just want y'all to think. You have never looked at an all-time running back and said, oh, let's put his backup in. His backup would have got better yardage in this situation. Let's put the backup in. That's just not what you do. So if my man Gibbs want to be the best of all time and reach his full potential, he has to get better. And whether it is game day, draft day, or any day in between, it's Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.